NFT NYC.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
How was it?
It was an amazing time. It was the first Web3 specific conference that I've ever been to. So to be in the space with just hundreds of people who were all building, investing, or just learning about the space, I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot.
So what would be the difference between going to a Web3 conference versus a crypto conference?
I would say the difference is with crypto, it's very specific to the coins and the tokens. With Web3, it included a lot more. I would say this specifically, since it was NFT New York, it was all centered around NFTs. But you have conversations that touched upon topics like DeFi, DAOs, and crypto too. But it was very NFT centric.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do we feel about NFTs right now?
I'm looking to you because I'm like, right now it's kind of like so volatile.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about like, I don't want to put my money in NFTs. I don't want to put my money in NFTs. But, it's a seesaw. And sometimes when it comes back up, it's going to be higher, I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel about it. And I think going to the conference kind of affirmed that.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't even know how bad the market overall is doing if you were at the conference, because people were so optimistic about the space, and you had all these different projects and so many companies promoting their projects through side events going on. And it was the first time, I was telling a friend, it was the first time that I got to see real life utility from an NFT.
Explain.
So, first of all, I got to shout out the Royals NFT. So the last day of the conference, there was an event at night that's hosted by AFROPOLITAN, and they're working on a DAO or Web3 organization where they're basically creating a digital network of abundance for Africa and the diaspora. And I went to that event, and it seemed like a very dope event. But one of the partners for the event is a NFT project called the Royals. Now the Royals minted their NFT back in March, and their NFT project is about coming from royalty. So that was kind of like embodying that and celebrating Black and African excellence. And so, as you guys know, obviously that's the kind of topic that resonates with me. So
type of things you into. Could you show the camera your shorts?
So shout out to the culture.
Yes,
that's right. I went to
Black
GALA.
Yes.
So that's to say, I'm into Royal NFT when they were minting back in March, but because I was an NFT holder and part of in that Royals community, I was able to have real life utility from holding that, and basically they the Royals took care of me because I was a member of their community, and that was like the first time I was able to see that real life utility of holding an NFT beyond it being this picture and even it being completely digital, and interacting in the digital space.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say they took care of you mean at the event? Like say got you a drink?
Right.
That's nice.
That's the type of
Very
things
nice
I'm
of you.
into.
Right.
Okay, I love that. So we have to look into that. Shout out to the Royals.
Definitely look into the Royals.
Yes.
Definitely look into the Royals.
Okay. So from what I could see online, Twitter, when I was standing outside the club, because I didn't come, it looked like it was very community oriented. There was a lot of music artists as well.
Yeah.
What would you say about the music scene and Web3 there?
It was very dope. I would say that the conference, it was very big.
Okay.
And so there were that's probably up to thousands of events overall throughout the whole time. And so you had to pick and choose what you're going to go to.
Conference like set speakers and times, or was it just like we're just mobbing New York this week?
So you had the set speakers and times, but then you had so many events taking place outside of that actual conference. And so you had to decide, like, am I going to the conference? Am I going to these events? And so then maybe you end up doing a little bit of both. Okay. And so as far as the music side of things go, I think that the NFT space is very exciting for musicians for a couple of different reasons. But as it relates to the conference, there was an event I went to called Blockchain for the Culture. Okay. And it was this guy, I believe his name is Louis C. I hope I don't butcher his name, like Louis C. Rhymes or something of that sort. He calls himself the NFT rapper. Okay. And he was hard. He was hard. Yeah, he was hard.
Yeah. I follow Latasha with ZORATOPIA. Okay. And that's a really dope project. Yeah. And I remember I popped into something she was hosting, and she was saying how she had got into the space because she had produced a video, put on YouTube, and wasn't getting the play she wanted. So then she moved into this space, like Web3 NFTs, and got her money. I know that's right.
Right. Like I have a cousin who like I'm been talking to him about, shifting some of his music into NFTs, like putting them out as NFTs. I think NFTs for everything, but music especially, like these spaces where you hear about like the starving artists and these creatives, it shifts that whole model to now where you can really like have more of a share of the value you're creating, and I think that's dope. So like GALA music, for example, which we may have spoken about a little bit, but they're working on something which is really cool. Nice. Where it's like it almost makes me think about like a decentralized Spotify or like Apple Music, where you as an artist get more of a share of your streaming, the revenue from streaming, but then also as a fan or like a consumer, you can also benefit too with like this idea of like listen to earn. And so that's a whole narrative that's building right now too.
Nice. Listen to earn.
Listen to earn.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
There's so much money floating around.
Yeah.
So much money floating around.
Definitely. Sure. Do you have any questions for our guy?
No, not as yet. I'm taking notes.
Yeah. What would you want to share? Like, was your biggest takeaway?
Man, my biggest takeaway, I would say for one, something that came up a couple of times with people I was speaking to who have been in the Web3 space for a long time, is that there are a lot of people who are working on projects or building companies where they're creating a solution and then trying to find a problem. And I believe that the projects and the organizations that are going to be most impactful are the ones where we're starting with a problem and we're starting with a real need, and then allowing the solution to like unfold. Yes. And I think that's what makes something like a Web3 for humanity so powerful.
Absolutely.
So make sure I got that right. So you're saying they have a solution and then they try to fix the problem. Right. So how does that work? Because in regular life you can't, unless it's something that's already happened, then you can prepare. But
well, I think with something where you have these new technologies and these new concepts of like DAOs and like these protocols, you can go create something, and then and I think a lot of people have done that or do that, but then are you creating something that is a need for? And so it's like you'll see some people who might build out a technology or build out something to go and try to find like, what can I attach this to? And so some of the people who I've met who have been in space for a long time, they're saying that's actually one of their turnoffs. That's one of their turnoffs around this Web3 space. Right. And so I think we're gonna see like a shift in the pendulum now as this starts getting applied to more real world.
But I mean that's
things.
Just poor entrepreneurship to begin with. Yeah. Like most successful entrepreneurs are the ones who are actually solving real life problems.
For sure.
True.
So,
That's true.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's the great way to start, like
Mm-hmm.
fixing something versus,
Yeah.
assuming that the market needs
Right.
what you have,
Right.
letting the market dictate.
It's like that idea of you hear like build it and they will come,
Mm-hmm.
but you know,
You gotta be careful.
right, you gotta be careful, exactly.
But you're still building something that the people needed.
Right.
Like you could still build it and they come. But
Right.
so like I guess an example would be like at Amazon.
Yeah.
Where people didn't know they needed to buy books online.
True.
Right.
Until they had the opportunity to do
Right.
That's
so.
true.
Right.
So they solve the problem.
Exactly. But
Right.
you always needed
Yeah.
to buy books.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. I feel like you definitely have to. There has to be something that, if it isn't a direct problem, it has to be something that you're able to see that maybe other people can't see.
Right.
Because it's like that saying that if Henry Ford had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses.
Yeah.
And
that's
then,
true.
and then maybe the
You're right.
Ford wouldn't have been
That's a very good point.
made. Yeah.
It's a
That's
very
so
good
true.
point.
Yeah.
True.
Yes.
Oh wow. Our younger horses.
Yeah.
That's so dope. I love the entrepreneurial spirit in this industry and in this space. So you mentioned how the synergy was appropriate for Web3
Yeah.
for humanity with putting the needs first.
Right.
So I guess this will be a good opportunity to kind of talk about what Web3 for humanity is and how can we get it where we fit in there.
Right. Well, when I think about Web3 for humanity, the word that jumps out first is the humanity part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And so Web3 for humanity is an organization that is leveraging and using Web3 in order to better humanity. And when you think about Web3 and you think about all these different concepts that are coming about and how it's shifting the narratives of really like the life that we're living, there are a lot of opportunities that are starting to come about that's important for our people especially, but just people in general who may not be tuned in to all these advances in technology that are happening. And so Web3 for Humanity is a way of bringing people in and onboarding people into this space so that they can discover and explore some of these opportunities that exist and understand how the space is growing so that we can all be a part of building this infrastructure. And 3-5 years down the line, when you think about the Web3 space or whatever's even being called then, that it had a diverse group of people and a diverse thought and perspective.
Yes.
That were part of building it out.
Absolutely.
That's
And I
how I see
love that you went to Afrocentric events. I love that there are Afrocentric events in Web3. Like that's like crazy perfect synergy. Yeah, that's crazy perfect synergy. I would like to think of Web3 for humanity as the humble regulators. Because in, colonization and the Western civilization we live in now, Black and brown people are objectified and power stricken. So reclaiming of power and what they say, knowledge is power.
True.
So
Yeah.
Omnipower.
yes. Yes.
Did I use the word correctly?
Yes. I'm picking up. I just got
Omnipower?
Omnipower. What is it? Omnipotent.
Omnipotent, right?
Yes.
I always think of ominous, but
Yes.
yeah, that's
That's
my word.
fun fact. That's what my brother's name stands for. Quadir.
Omnipotent.
Yes.
What?
Oh wow.
Yes.
We
Wow.
Shout out to Quad.
Yes.
Shout out to all the Aries.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yes, I'm gonna be there.
Oh, be careful. Leo season's coming up.
That is true. Let me roar. But WEB3 for humanity, for me, goes back again to the humanity part of it. Not leaving people behind, like the regular world has done, and bringing everyone in. Yeah. Women, you know what I mean? The marginalized. That's what I think about when I think about WEB3 for humanity.
Yes. I love this.
I think the synergy with us have us focusing on the humanity part.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one thing that we're all connected with, changing humanity.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Making it better. Not worse, making it better.
Make it freaking better.
Because you can change it and destroy it, but you don't want to do that.
Yeah. You guys always know I love a philosophical question. Start with you, Hugh. What is humanity to you? Like, what makes a human human?
Just by being alive, I think. And being in their own form of diversity. Because you can have diversity in white America. You have diversity in Black America. And with immigrant community and so forth. So I feel like it's humans within their own diversity that makes them part of humanity.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have the poor and you have the rich, but they're, you know what I mean?
It's all a person.
Yeah.
When I think about humanity, I think about the, let's say, forefathers of America, and when they were drafting up the Constitution and Declaration of Independence and all those things, and they use phrasing like all humans are, or all people. I'm probably butchering this, but
what they did choose.
No offense.
He used someone else's words. Thomas Jefferson did, yeah.
Oh,
you said what?
He used someone else's word for the Declaration of Independence for America.
Oh.
Thomas Jefferson did. He used, I think it was Thomas Mann's writing.
Oh, I think
that all humans and your properties, you know, all the stuff that he had in the Constitution.
So,
the Constitution,
are you saying the Constitution's plagiarized?
Not necessarily, because I think he quoted it. He quoted his works, and he also
cited.
Right, yes, I think he did. And then it was also copied by other people, and also Ho Chi Minh, when he was declaring Vietnam independent from France, he quoted our Declaration of Independence. Isn't that something? Because it's so powerful. So back to the founding fathers.
Right. So all people have inalienable rights. Right, like just from being here on this earth, like we deserve to live full lives and abundant lives and to thrive, and
absolutely,
and we should all have access and opportunity and be able to fulfill our potential.
Sure.
And so to me that's what humanity is about. And
yes, I love it. I think for me it's so what makes us different from the animal world is conscious. And our ability to create reason, to even consider a future. You know what I mean? Because if you're just I'm trying to eat today, I think having the consciousness to even think of time is what makes us different, what makes a human a human. So to all of your points, the humanity, now that we are beings in the society of a global society, at this point it is about access, because we've seen some examples of what has been and what can be, so I think there's a phrase called radical imagination for liberation, where it's we can genuinely create a future that we haven't fathomed.
Yeah.
And I just love that for us.
Yeah. I love that for us too.
But I love that for us.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think that was what I felt being at. Where it was it almost felt like this canvas that people are painting on. And it's imagining the new and imagining possibilities that you wouldn't have thought about before, and imagining things that don't exist yet, and bringing them to life.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. Well, thank you, Aki,
Yeah.
for
Sure.
debriefing us on NFTNYC. What's the
Awesome.
next upcoming conference or event that we should be checking out?
For sure. So definitely DeFi Philly.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Okay, you sent me that. I'm gonna, when we're
When is
done,
it?
we're gonna RSVP after.
Okay.
Also, while I was still on air, 'cause we haven't discussed this yet.
Okay.
Because I, but I guess we can talk about it now.
Let's go.
There's an event going on next Thursday at Ethos Barbershop
Okay.
called Barbershop Speaks, and there's gonna be something called Crypto Convos, and so I'm actually gonna be speaking there at
Oh my
on a panel.
gosh! Yes.
And so everybody.
So what is next Thursday? That is July 6th?
July
7th, actually.
7th?
4th, 5th. No, it's the 6th.
The
5th,
6th.
No, 7th.
July 7th.
July
7th.
7th, a Thursday.
Yeah.
What time
Okay,
is it?
so-
7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m. Okay.
Everybody who comes will get airdropped free crypto.
Period. I'm there.
So you want to be there.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I will definitely be there.
Yes.
And it's a kind of like the start to the DeFi Philly conference, which is the day after on Friday.
Oh, so it's that weekend then.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yes, we are so there.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you for sharing.
For
Yes.
sure.
Thank you for
Yes.
sharing. Thanks for all of your knowledge, light, wisdom,
That's right.
man.
So what Web3 for Humanity is about, knowledge share. So
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll sign out and see you later.